Well, I want to welcome you to my YouTube channel. It's an honor to have you here. And my goal today is to talk about how we transported our Rad City e-bikes from Florida to Michigan. That was a 1,500-mile trip, and I was really concerned about hauling the bikes on the back of our towed car and how we were going to do it, what kind of bike rack we needed. A lot of issues involved with that. And in this video today, what I hope to do is to highlight some of those issues and give you some ideas on how you can transport your e-bikes, long distances, short distances, whatever. You know, the challenges are, first of all, the bike cover, how to keep that on the bikes while you're traveling that far, and you have weather issues, and then you have issues of dirt and road debris, and the electronics on the bike, water, you know, just a lot of issues there that I had to solve to successfully bring these bikes back from Florida. And I think I found a way, and I wanted to share that with you. Now what I'm doing is I'm sharing this after the fact. We hurried and packed up, anxious to get on the road when we were in Florida. And I didn't take any video at that time of that. And then when we got home, of course, tired, anxious to get unpacked, get everything situated after we arrived home, and I didn't take any video of that. So what I did was, when I was loading up the e-bikes for a trip, a short trip actually, to go down one of Michigan's rail trails, I loaded the e-bikes up, and then I thought, well, while I'm doing that, I'll just take some video and show everyone what we did when we packed up to go to Florida. So this video is that. It's not the actual packing. It's similar, and at the end what you'll see is kind of an unfinished product with the bike cover on the bike racks, and it looks rather large, I guess would be the way to say it. But with it all clamped down and everything in place, the size of the load on the back of our Jeep is really much smaller and more compact, especially the way that we did it, and you'll see that here in a few minutes. Now, I'd like you to support this channel if you can, please, and I'm honored if you do that by hitting the like button or subscribing to the video. Now that would be a real big help on YouTube, because YouTube analytics kind of looks at those likes and subscriptions and lets you know, it lets them know that you have viewers. So that's very important. Another thing about this video is that I'm going to have links in the notes at the bottom of the video, and those links will be to the products that I use to transport the e-bike. And you can just click on those links and it'll take you right to Amazon. They're all on Amazon. Everything's on Amazon. And when you do click on those links, and if you do purchase one of the products, I'll receive, you know, a small commission. Commissions on Amazon aren't really big, but I thought, well, one way or another, I wanted to get the links in the notes and let you decide what you want to purchase and take a look at what I've purchased in a more detailed way by those links. I would put those links there regardless of whether or not I was making a commission, because my goal here is to help you out with hauling your e-bikes, whether it's short or long distances. So, and you know, you will need some special equipment. So let's get right on in, and let's talk a little bit about some of that equipment that I've used. And so let's do that. Now, as I mentioned, there is some equipment that you're going to need, and of course, the first piece of equipment would be the bike cover. And this is just a standard cheap bike cover. It's nothing special. I didn't pay a lot of money for it, but that's the piece that I was worried about disintegrating or falling off while we were traveling back from Florida. I was also concerned a bit about weather and dirt getting up inside of the cover. So what I did was, when I was out walking in Florida, I come across the car that had bikes packed on it, and I saw that they had they were on the back on their hitch, and what I saw was that they had taken a bike cover, and then what they did was they used a cargo net to secure the bike cover on the bike, and I thought that was a really great idea. And so I bought a cargo net, thought that would solve my problem, and sure enough it did. It really did. Now the next thing that you're going to need is the bike hitch. Now this particular hitch that I have, and I've kind of in a bad spot for lighting here, but let me walk around so you can see it. This particular hitch that I have is a Hypervax, and it's specifically designed for e-bikes and specifically designed for hauling on the back of a towed car or on the back of a towed RV. So this works well. This wasn't my first choice, but I'm kind of glad I ended up with it. It's a nice sturdy hitch and it worked quite well. Actually, my first choice was a Hollywood. You can't get those. They were just not available. So I ended up with a Hypervax, and I bought that on Amazon. Okay, another thing that we had to have so that the bikes would work properly on the bike rack, and I'll show you why in a minute, are these Swagman center bar extenders. Now that's because this is the Rad City 5 bicycle, but the center bar down here is not high enough to work on our bike rack, so I had to add the Swagman so that this would work all properly, and also the same for the Rad City step through that my wife has. Now here's why we had to have these, and that's because these on the bike rack are what holds the bike in place, these hooks, and the center bar goes through here, but without the Swagman extenders that would not work, so we had to get the extenders. Now another thing that I thought was necessary was these magnetic tail lights that we attached to the top of the Jeep for our travel back, and the reason for that is because the bike rack with the bikes on the rack, and then with the bike covers over the bikes, and then the cargo netting, there was no way that a driver behind us could see the tail lights of the Jeep, so, or the turn signals or the brake lights. So I got these wireless tail lights, turn signals, and connected those simply by plugging the transmitter into the receptacle near the hitch on the back of the Jeep, and they work great. So they work just fine. And here's the wireless transmitter for those tail lights. As you can see, it plugs into the receptacle on the back of your hitch. It's got a little antenna, and it transmits the signal up to the tail lights. So I really like this. Actually, it's easier than hooking up the cable between the motorhome and the Jeep. This just works fine. Now the next piece of equipment that I have here that's sitting up on the back of the Jeep is a stabilizer, and that goes kind of over the hitch receiver and the tongue of the bike rack. And speaking of hitch receivers, you're going to need a good heavy-duty hitch receiver. I think that's what they call a class 2. So that is what's required as well. Well, there's the finished product, almost the finished product. I didn't go to the trouble of just adjusting everything, getting the cargo net properly situated on the bike, but that's kind of the idea. That's what it looks like, and this travels well. Like I said, we went 1,500 miles through all kinds of weather and road grit, and the bikes came off perfect. So, and there was no rips or tears or anything in the bike cover, so that was good. That's what I was worried about. And when you get it all situated on there, the cargo netting, they give you these little clamps, and you use these to tighten everything down. They give you about 24 of these, so you have plenty to get everything nice and tight over the bike. So that's what it looks like, that's what it takes, and I hope this has helped you. And if you would, please like the video and please subscribe. So again, thank you so much for watching, and we will be back with you soon with another video. So y'all take care. Bye bye for now.